Behind me is a harmonic filter. It's got nothing to do with harmonicas, but it is a bit like a water filter. It filters the electricity coming out of the converter station over there to make it cleaner. But how can you make electricity cleaner? Well, you might have heard of dirty power before, and we don't mean power generated from burning coal or oil. But rather the sine wave, which usually looks like this, isn't a pure sine wave anymore. Now hold on a minute. Don't run off because I mentioned sine waves. I've got some really cool equipment behind me that I want to show you in a minute, and this isn't a forced perspective shot. I've got capacitor banks, inductors and resistors behind me, and they really are that big. So let me explain why dirty power or harmonics are a bad thing, what harmonics are, how we get rid of them on the grid, and why that's important for high voltage direct current like the site I'm on today. I'm the electric Brit, and let's dig in. So dirty power. Depending on what you've got connected to it, it might not actually like the power that it's getting and want to run on it. So your computer power supplies and other slightly sensitive bits might refuse to work. If it does work, then you might find that your power supply gets hotter than usual, like your phone or laptop charger, which might cause it to cut out on its thermal protection. The heat is wasted power, and it's generated by the harmonics because, like harmonics in sound, it's waves not like the 50 Hz we want and need here in the UK, which we call our fundamental frequency. If you're in the USA, parts of Japan or other places, that might be 60 Hz, which means 60 of those complete sine waves in a second. When that distorted waveform is broken down into its component frequencies, some of those are integer multiples of the fundamental frequency. Those are harmonics. For example, the fifth harmonic at 50 Hz is 5 multiplied by 50, so 250 Hz. Therefore, the seventh harmonic is 350 Hz, and LCC converter stations like this usually produce the 11th and 13th harmonics too, which is why we have these foreshadowing filters behind me. But if you've watched my HVDC video, you'll know LCC converters like this can be 12 pulse bridge to cancel out the 5th and 7th harmonic. If that sounds like gibberish, then I highly recommend watching that video up here. So why are harmonics generating heat? That goes back to our dear friend the skin effect, which I also explained in that video. Essentially, as frequency increases, current becomes increasingly concentrated towards the outside of the conductor, reducing its effective cross-sectional area and increasing its AC resistance. More resistance means more losses and more heat. At higher frequencies, the current alternates faster, creating a stronger opposing force inside the conductor, pushing more current towards the outside. So you thought you had a conductor this big, but the bit in the middle isn't doing much, forcing all of the current through the smaller cross-section of the wire, increasing the resistance and causing it to heat up due to Joule heating. That rapidly changing magnetic field at higher frequencies is generating eddy currents, which contribute to the skin effect. And in transformers and other magnetic equipment, those higher frequencies also increase eddy current and other iron losses. Changing magnetic fields induce circulating currents inside conductive materials, and ultimately more of our electrical energy ends up as heat. And in three-phase 4-wire systems, like at 400 volts in the UK, tripling harmonics, like the third, are particularly troublesome, because unlike the fundamental currents, they can add together in neutral, potentially overheating it. So now you know generally what harmonics are and how they cause inefficiency in our system. How do we get rid of them? I spilled the beans at the start that this thing is a harmonic filter, so what does that really mean and how does it work? Well, before we get on to components, behind me you'll see there's more than one filter. And we've already established there's more than one harmonic frequency, so we tune our filters to attack or absorb certain frequencies. Because these are large, static pieces of equipment, connected at 400,000 volts, we can't tune them on the fly, so we have a filter per frequency we want to target. These are passive filters, meaning once we close the circuit breaker at the end of the circuit and the disconnectors, so it's connected to the system, it'll just work, happily, with no control needed. But at lower voltages you can get active filters, which work a little bit differently, using a semiconductor to detect and inject opposite current to cancel out the frequencies. We don't do that on transmission voltages though, so the next best thing is tuning our filters to attack more than one frequency, where we can have single, double or triple tuned filters to attack 1, 2 or 3 frequencies. By adding extra capacitors and reactors to the filter, tuned to those other frequencies, we can attack more than one frequency with a single filter. There's a fourth type of filter as well, known as a C-type filter, which is like a high-pass filter. taking out loads of frequencies and putting them into a damping resistor, which I'll talk about in a second, and kind of works in reverse, where you have your capacitor and reactor working to target the fundamental frequency that we want to keep, so it bypasses that resistor. I'll get on to what we mean by tuned in a second, and that'll all make sense. And a quick note, reactors are essentially just giant inductors. Big coils of wire, and in this application we typically use an air cored reactor. Unlike the iron cored reactors you'll find elsewhere on the transmission system, there's deliberately no ferromagnetic core inside this enormous coil, which avoids the issue of core saturation when we're loading it full of harmonics. Let's take a second to talk about how we filter before we talk about components. Electricity is pretty hard to control, because it will take every available path, but like water, it prefers the path of least resistance. In this case though, it's the path of least impedance rather than resistance. Because there's a slight distinction in that resistance is the opposition to current that produces heat, whereas impedance is the total opposition to current, combining resistance and reactance. There's a few ways to influence where power goes on the grid, and I've done another video on phase shifting transformers, or quad boosters as we call them, and you can take a look at that up there. You can use power electronics as well to influence where power goes on the grid, a bit like the HVDC technology that's just over there. But the simplest way to influence power flows is to change the impedance of the line. In this case, power is flowing down our bus bars out of our converter station here, which is like a big switching power supply, working in reverse and producing some dirty power, with let's say 5th and 7th harmonics to keep things simple. In this filter we have that resistor I mentioned before, and its job is damping. Our capacitor and reactor are going to create a resonance circuit which is really good at attracting particular harmonic frequencies, but we don't necessarily want that resonance to be incredibly sharp. The resistor adds resistance to the circuit, controlling that resonance and dissipating some of that harmonic energy as heat. The capacitors in our case is this big bank, which provides capacitive reactive power. We also have that massive air-cored reactor we mentioned, which is an inductor, with a specific inductance determined by the amount of coils of wire in there. The capacitor's impedance falls as frequency rises, whereas the reactor's impedance rises with frequency. Put the capacitor and reactor together and we get an LC circuit. By choosing their values, we can make their reactance cancel at a particular frequency. Resistance can then be introduced to control or dampen the response, depending on the type of filter. The capacitor and reactor are set so they cancel out, creating a path of low impedance for the harmonics they're tuned for, making it look really attractive. Which is why they're in parallel with our main circuit here behind me, and before we get onto the export cables at the end. We can switch them in and out depending on the harmonics we see, which might vary with power level. So if I can make this filter present a very low impedance at 550 Hz, suddenly it looks extremely attractive to our 11th harmonic. At the harmonic frequency, this branch presents a very low impedance. At 50 Hz, it behaves predominantly like a capacitor, so it doesn't short our fundamental frequency power to earth. Instead, it supplies useful capacitive reactive power to the AC system. If you're wondering why all this equipment is low down, at 400 kV, one thing is that the capacitor bank would be a stupidly high tower if it was at our normal clearances up in the air. And it would be a nightmare to maintain, since there's hundreds of individual capacitors across this site, and a few fail every year and need replaced. And because it's low down, we have a fence around it so you can't get near, with the gate being interlocked so you can't get in while it's live. Make sure you're subscribed so you can see a dedicated video on interlocking soon. One quirk you can see here with the fence is that it's not continuous all the way around, and has these gaps, which are a technical specification. Can you guess why? If you guessed it's to let the mice and hedgehogs through, then you were wrong sadly. It's actually to stop circulating currents. Besides the voltage, that enormous air-cored reactor produces a strong alternating magnetic field. If I put a massive continuous conductive loop around it, that magnetic field can induce a voltage around the loop and drive a circulating current through it. Essentially, we've accidentally created a very strange transformer. So conductive structures around the large air-cored reactor have to be carefully designed to avoid closed loops. That strong magnetic field is also why you can't go near these things if you have a device fitted to your heart. You can think of it this way: reactor is the primary winding, and the fence is our accidental secondary winding. I mentioned at the start of the video about HVDC, and we're at one such site today. I already talked about the fact that LCC, or line commutation converter, HVDC, like this, produces more harmonics than VSC, which is the alternative technology, which is why it needs so many filters. But another quirk of LCC, for it to work, it actually consumes reactive power, which is why it's not suitable for connecting to weak AC grids. And there's a fantastic bit of engineering synergy here. An LCC converter consumes huge amounts of reactive power while it's operating. What else have we just installed enormous quantities of? Capacitors! So these filters don't just remove harmonics, their capacitor banks also provide some of the reactive power for the converter's needs. That's about as comprehensive of a video I can do on harmonics from the eyes of a transmission engineer. Before you torture me in the comments, remember I don't have a degree in anything. And everything I do know I've learned on the job from a good few mentors and from self-study. If you're interested in a more structured learning experience for this sort of stuff, let me know in the comments, or if there's any other topics you want me to cover. I promise videos on protection are coming. Make sure to like, subscribe and share this video so it tells YouTube I'm doing something right. And thanks for watching. If you're interested in more industrial history and technical content, like, subscribe and let me know down below what else you want me to cover. If you want to support me directly and have a bigger say in what video I work on next, check out my Patreon link in the description, and thanks to my patrons Benedict, PV Power Solutions, Mr. Bear, Andy, Andrew, Lionel, Herring, Nigel Tupman, Matt P, Anthony T, Richard, TJ, J Hamilton, Nils, Tim Small, John Walker, Joe Newman, Gavin, White Quark, Marius, Carl and Dr. Eggman.